What's happening? What's happening on this beautiful Saturday morning? Uh, Top of the morning to everyone. Um, y'all gotta forgive me. I'm a little rough, but I don't care. At the end of the day, listen, I am who I am. Hey, I've been. There's a couple of things that's going on. A couple of things that's going on. We uh we have major areas right now that are all in, you know, beef. Something's going on. You got the airstrikes going on over in Iran and Israel, and that is bringing forth a different type of argument because there's a lot of mixed feelings on that. Then you have the constant war or battle of men and women back and forth doing that type of thing. Then we got the riots that's happening everywhere. And I'm like, okay, there's a lot of stuff going on. And then this morning, I'm listening to commentators about a whole different situation, which is going into football. And, with the Stewart guy, the kid that's out of Texas A&M, who went to Cincinnati. And it's crazy because I guess for something that has never been done, for you guys to sit here and write that verbiage in a contract and don't think that he's gonna look at that. Are you saying to me that a kid would go to college for 3+ years, learn while they're in school? Because they're no longer just athletes. They are college graduates. And you do not expect that they will review that contract with everything going on. And they're thinking about their future. And it's not about the ball, because guess what? Now they got NILs. He can live off his NIL money. He can live off his NIL money until this issue gets resolved, because he can play the long game now. See, a lot of times we get caught up in situations where we take the short game because we looking at it today. We looking at it like right now, because most of us are always in a position where we have to look at it for right now. You want to position yourself to the point where as you start looking at it for a futuristic situation, a year from now, 2 years from now, because once you start looking at it from that aspect, you are looking at it, you're starting to play the game that everybody's playing. You start understanding stuff a lot different. Life is not like checkers. Checkers is speed, putting a person in position for that one move. Chess is a game where I gotta look at 5 to 10 moves ahead. I gotta look at all kind of variances. I have to look at all kind of things that can jeopardize the one person that is it, and that's the king. Because whether we like it or not, the queen has the ability to sit back and move how she wants to move. But the king is the vital piece. And they move one step at a time. They don't slide across the board. They don't go diagonal. They don't go horizontal. They don't go up, backwards, all of that. They make one move. And we are just so out of place right now. We out of place. And if we don't get it together, listen, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. It's not going to be good. It's not. And I don't know how anyone out here in this atmosphere that's breathing this air, that's looking at the days of sun and rain and wind and tornadoes and hurricanes, all of this, and don't think that laws are in place. We are so out of pocket right now. It used to be an old commercial back in the day. I'm really gonna tell my age. It used to be a commercial, and it showed an Indian guy, and he would look around and see all the trash of the world, and a tear would drop from his eye. Do y'all remember that commercial? We have to be like that right now. And everybody always try to blame. They want to blame somebody. I'm a firm believer now in whoever wrote Scarface and the one line that he said you need people, you need bad guys. So 80% of the people can point and say, that's the bad guy. Wow. That 80% of people is taking and doing backdoor deals to solidify themselves. Hey, I know I'm talking too much this morning. I know it. And for the people that get it, they gonna get it. They're going to get it. And for the people that don't, hopefully one day you'll be in a position where you can sit here and say, okay, I can identify what was being said and what is being said. Because it's more than just about putting on some clothes. It got to be more about what you ride in. You got to be more than about how you turned up. Because those memories are superficial if you moving out of pocket. Because the one thing about it, listen, I went through a lot of money. I went through money. I feel like I worked hard. I played hard. And then a light switch come on, and then you say, okay, hold, I gotta reevaluate this. Whether it's life or it is in a situation that forces you to start looking at life different, that's when that switch comes on. Now, some people go way later before a switch hits. And the sad part about it is that a lot of those people, they got to identify, they go through a lot more because they've lived in a delusional situation for such a longer time. If I've got a situation where it's been delusional for 20 years, I'm coming out, you know what I'm saying? What they call that thing when you incarcerated and you become, that's what you think. That's how they program you to be. You know, it's, hey, let's be real with it. Let's be real with it, because at the end of the day, let me say this, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this. We can keep effing around, and we're gonna eff and find out. We can keep playing these games, thinking that we got time, we got the energy, and we have just time to sit here and just do all this stuff that's out of pocket. It's out of pocket. We gotta stop. It is out of pocket for the way some people think. It's out of pocket. And I don't care how you look at it, it's out of pocket. And we gotta stop moving like that. We do. Give a shout out to Oscar, man. GTO. I'm doing a GTO. Even with this business here, anyone that has ever met Oscar, brief, hey, how you doing? Photo, he knows you, whatever. All knows that he's a solid guy. He's a solid guy. Yeah. Good product. But because he's, a guy that's out there doing it, hustling it, making it happen, we don't understand how supportive, because this industry here is a situation whereas you can't really advertise, anything, because it's word of mouth, recommendations, and from a shop owner, they really don't have the time to sit here and try to say wet is wet and wet is wet and wet is wet. They trying to move, because it's about product. If I can offer you all of these lines, I don't have the time to sit here and try to sell one particular line. Now, if I'm getting that at a price point that is they blowing me out. Okay, yeah, I might do a couple of recommendations on that. But the reality of it is that most cigar guys are very understanding of what they enjoy. They know what they like. Whether it is medium, whether it is full body, whether they want that strength of a Jaime Garcia, or they want the smoothness of and smooth and boldness of a Vicencia, or they want that sin compromiso that it gives. To me, it covers every plateau of it. You got your earthy, you got your spice, you got your peppers, but then it's still so mellow to the point where you feel it, but you don't feel it. And I enjoy that cigar. I really do. Sin Compromiso. It's one of my tops. You know what I'm saying? So if you haven't had that cigar, you need to try it out. Listen. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. Because if we don't, it's going to be over. It is. Smoke well, my friends. Enjoy.